Cadence of Conflict, Asia, February 12, 2018. There are those who know Asia and those who don't. There are those who know political gaming and those who don't. Last week, Symphony said that China wouldn't compromise in a Sino-Vatico deal. This week, a retired bishop in Hong Kong said basically the same thing, that if the Pope vetoes Beijing too often, Beijing will tell the world the Pope is unreasonable. The Pope is no fool. The Vatican knows to listen to a Hong Kong bishop concerning China. The deal is hotly debated in the Church and by no means unanimously supported as motherhood or apple pie. If the Vatican goes through with this controversial deal with China, then it indicates that the Vatican is counting on a popularity war against China, in which China loses respect, both among Catholics in China and everyone in every economy everywhere else in the world. Except, of course, among Russians, who always like a good fight. If war breaks out between the West and China, and if China loses to a fierce West, China ought hold the Vatican partially responsible for playing the complex popularity mind game which is this deal. This agreement was always a cloaked plan to harm China. It seems that the retired bishop in Hong Kong hasn't figured that out. The Vatican would have us believe that they haven't figured out China when they actually have things figured out all too well. That's what makes the Vatican arguably the greatest danger to China. No wonder China is so concerned, but still not concerned enough. Equally concerning, Taiwan is seriously talking about moving their legislative yuan and their executive yuan offices with it. The new location would be Taichung, the center of Taiwan. That would put the central government seat in two locations and the frequent target of democratic demonstrations between the ideologically conflicted North and South. While this is purported to help connect the central government more closely to local governments and to provide large open plazas so that demonstrations don't interrupt local commerce, and to provide for an earthquake not disrupting the entire central government. That word earthquake carries symbolic meaning without mention. A change of cartography will also date any invasion rehearsals. More than implicating an airborne earthquake from, say, China, promoting democracy demonstrations along with a united island of 23 million are the greater, yet more subtle messages that may insult some offices on the other side of that Taiwan Strait. Few in the West will understand how Taiwan's central government creating a second seat could spark the war that the Vatican is already piping the popularity to fuel. Just as much, there are those who do and do not understand North Korea. Every time the West is shown media coverage of North Korea, journalistic commentary doesn't know what to say. Look at them. They all clap in unison. Doesn't it look strange? They can't be happy. After all, they never stop smiling. It's all fake. And look at all of the crying at the Kim Jong-il funeral. That's either fake or it's radical support. The press, wholly unqualified to explain events in Far East Asia, can't help but flaunt their own ignorance. North Koreans are part of a tightly controlled, cult-like, nannied and mommied play script. They are neither happy nor sad. They are caught in a culture of mass groupthink. They cry at a Kim funeral because that's what you do, much like taking your shoes off at the door. They cheer in choreographed unison at a sports arena because that's what you do at sports arenas. And, more importantly, all cheering is choreographed anyway, right? They aren't cheering from any obligation. They're like a bunch of Sunday morning micro-church minions parroting their microcosm lingo because that's the only thing they have ever learned to do. A similar comparison would be to tone lexical native language speakers, such as Cantonese and Mandarin, trying to use the free-form tone flow of Romance sentences, or asking someone who only reads sheet music to improvise for the first time ever. Singing spontaneously from the heart just isn't something they have ever known, and all the Western press can do is gawk, but not understand. It just shows how far we still have to go to get to know each other. And that is the cadence of the conflict already seen in the Pacific.